Today we're going to be reading Luke chapter 9, verses 12 to 16 in the Amplified Version, which says, "Now the day was ending, and the 12 disciples came and said to him, 'Send the crowd away so that they may go into the surrounding villages and countryside and find lodging and get provisions, because here we are in an isolated place.' But he," that's Jesus, "said to them, 'You give them something to eat.' They said, 'We have no more than 5 loaves and 2 fish, and perhaps we go and buy food for all these people.' For there were about 5,000 men. That's a lot of people. It's not counting women and children. And he said to his disciples, 'Have them sit down to eat in groups of about 50 each.' They did so and had them all sit down. Then he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and he looked up to heaven and gave thanks and blessed them and broke them and kept giving them to the disciples to set before the crowd." Now, I really love this passage because it speaks to God's faithfulness. But there's also an element here of thanksgiving. Now, when you're in a season where you're being tested, your faith is being tested, it's usually a season where your faithfulness towards God is being tested, and where the faithfulness, the fruit of the spirit of faithfulness, is being developed. Also a season where you have to have the armor of God on. That's the shield of faith. Now, oftentimes we think of it as, oh, okay, God can multiply my gifts, my talents, and He absolutely can. He absolutely will. But oftentimes, what's behind that is God trying to multiply your faith and build your faith. Now, we all talk about faith being like a mustard seed, that you can bring like a small little amount of faith to God, and that's absolutely right. But if you know the anatomy of a mustard tree, it's a tiny seed, yeah, but that tree grows really big to the point where its roots become invasive. So if you're in a season of testing, don't think about it only as, oh, okay, God can multiply what's in my hands, my blessing, my gifts. Get your eyes off of that for a moment and put your eyes and set your eyes on Jesus, on God. Could it be that He's trying to multiply and grow your faith in Him? Remember, it's impossible to please God without faith. So if He's developing the fruit of the spirit of faithfulness in you, and if He's developing greater faith in you, and He's calling you deeper and higher in faith, that's mercy. Because when you have faith in God, you become pleasing to Him. Have you ever thought about it like that? Him making us into His image, making us faithful, makes us pleasing to Him.